players, welcome back to another episode of Magic the Rambling, the show where I ramble on for some time about some stuff relating to Magic and the Commander format. If you guys have ideas or suggestions or just things you would like to say about the show, go ahead and leave comments on this video, or you can tag me on Twitter at MTG_homebrew with your ideas, comments, concerns, anything like that. Today's episode, we are talking about my favorite sets in Magic history. I have a list of 10 and 5 honorable mentions to get through, so let's get right into things. First set on my list is Kaldheim, released February 5th, 2021. This had a lot of fun cards. It also inspired a metal community-driven playlist that was put together by Lady Danger. I will have that playlist linked down below on Spotify. This had cards like Alrund's Epiphany that kind of broke standard for a while, Magda Brazen Outlaw that won Tier 1 Con CEDH tournament over in Denmark, Carter Doomscourge that was my most viewed deck tech, still is on this channel. Second set on my list is Amonkhet, released April 28th, 2017. This had a lot of fun cards, not to mention my love of the cycling mechanic. Had a lot of that too. This had I think the only white token doubler with Anointed Procession. This had Aven Mind Sensor. This also had another favorite card of mine with Nest of Scarabs that I put in my Volrath the Shapestealer deck, which was one of the first shorts I posted on this channel. That's still a deck that I need to build just for the fun of having. Next set on my list is Theros, released September 27th, 2011. This was a good one, the original Theros, anyway. Not so much a fan of Beyond Death, that was more recent. I do like the original one though. That with Born of the Gods was a good block to have. Heliod, God of the Sun, Purphoros, God of the Forge, Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and the now banned Prophet of Kruphix, all printed in that set. The next set on my list is my personal favorite set of all time with Ravnica Allegiance, released January 25th, 2019. This had cards like Smothering Tithe, Prime Speaker Vannifar, which is a fun combo deck to run, Priest of the Forgotten Gods, a good Aristocrats piece, half of the Shockland Cycle reprints, had Guardian Project, which is one of the best cards for green in Commander, as well as Biomancer's Familiar, which goes in a lot of Thrasios decks. If you haven't put it in there already, I recommend trying it out. It does with the reduced activation cost. That with Training Grounds just makes for some bonker plays. Next set I have is Ixalan, released September 29th, 2017. This had some fun stacks pieces like Ashes of the Abhorrent, Tocatli Honor Guard, as well as an alternate win con with Revel in Riches, and also had a couple of really good commanders for Tribal with Pirate Tribal and Admiral Beckett Brass, and Dinosaur Tribal, the top commander for that actually, with Gishath Sun's Avatar. The next set I have is Magic 2010, released July 17th, 2009. This had cards like Silence and Mesa Enchantress, as well as Fabricate, Polymorph, Time Warp, and even Platinum Angel was put in this set. The next set was the first ever set that I bought sealed product for during release. It is War of the Spark, released May 3rd, 2019. Safe to say this is also the best cinematic trailer that Wizards has ever produced. This had cards like Karn the Great Creator, God Eternal Oketra, Flux Channeler, which is a really fun card, Jace Wheeler of Mysteries, which is now going in every Thoracle deck ever, Narset Parter Veils that goes with Windfall and any wheel effect, as well as Neoform, which made Temur Pirates better than it was, I assume, before, because I don't think it existed prior to Malcolm being printed. If it did, I don't know, maybe, if there was a really old version, but I doubt it. So Neoform is good. You play your Temur stuff, you play Malcolm, you Neoform into Glinthorn Buccaneer, and you win. Next set on my list is 10th edition, not to be confused with Magic 2010. 10th edition was released almost exactly 2 years prior to that on July 13th, 2007. This had cards like Aura of Silence, Rule of Law, Seedborn Muse was printed, Phage the Untouchable, which is always a fun card to try to figure out in Commander, as well as Root Maze, which is another fun stacks piece. The next set, the second to last on my list for today, is Scourge, that was released May 26th, 2003, which at the time that set was released, I was not quite 6 months old yet. I was born the end of 2002, in case you were curious. This had cards like Brain Freeze, Decree of Silence, Form of the Dragon, which, by the way, if you were around when this channel first started back in 2020, that was the profile picture for this channel for quite some time until I decided to make a real one and then changed it several different times. But that was where that used to be because I still own my foil copy. Not that it's worth anything, I just like the card as a card. The other big card here that I found in this set was Tendrils of Agony, which is always a fun finisher if you can pull it off. Now, before we get to the last set on my list for today, I do have 5 honorable mentions, those being World Wake, which broke Standard and Modern, still does break Modern a little bit here and there, although the meta has definitely changed from the time of the release for that. Kaladesh, for the pure fact that they have inventions and really cool looking artifact cards, especially the swords are probably my favorites there. Next honorable mention goes to Dragons of Tarkir. It's not the best set to ever exist, that's for sure. The mythic quality is slightly underwhelming, but it did have some nice cards. This was also the first ever set I saw when I started playing. It was the first ever product I picked up. This is kind of the year that I started playing. This was the most recent set, and we've come quite a ways from that. The next 2 are both pretty much just reprint sets. Ultimate Masters, purely for the box topper fun, and the fact that I still haven't opened a box yet, but I really, really want to. But at, $600 a box, I don't think those are getting cheaper anytime soon, so it might be a while before we get one of those. As well as the last honorable mention here, Dominaria Remastered, that actually came out this weekend, as of the time of recording this anyway. Yeah, this one was interesting to me. I did not expect much. I didn't really get the spoilers. I didn't bother checking it. I wasn't overly invested in this one. And then I opened a sealed box and a couple of collector boosters and was thoroughly surprised with this one. This was a set that I highly, highly underestimated in terms of what Wizards would do with a set like this. So I could probably make a whole video on that for next week's episode, but I'm not going to. I just figured I'd point it out here. Say that I definitely underestimated the set as a whole, and I'd put it as an honorable mention before we get to the last set of my favorites for Magic's history. And that last set goes to Commander Legends, the original one, released November 20th, 2020. This had a lot of fun cards, a lot of new partners that made a whole lot of new strategies, and we like to see that. We like the variance in deck building and strategy and all that sorts of stuff. So I've got 10 cards here that I really like from this set. We have Keeper of the Accord, Rebek, Architect of Ascension, that I actually have paired with Armix Filigree Thrasher, that's in a short on my channel. We also have Malcolm Keen-Eyed Navigator, that made Temur Pirates a thing when I mentioned Neoform earlier. We also have Opposition Agent, which I actually have one of that I'm planning to give away as a 100 subscriber special. I know we hit the milestone a little bit back, probably just before the end of the year, I think is when that happened. But I still have that. It's in a little top loader case thing, sealed away so it does not get damaged. That is just sitting waiting for me to actually make the giveaway video. So there is that. We also have Jeska Thrice Reborn, which pairs well with also another card on the list, Ishai Ojutai Dragonspeaker, which is a deck in and of itself. Make Giant Bird triple damage, knock somebody out. We have Apex Devastator, which is my favorite Cascade card of all time. We have Command Beacon, which goes in my Titania decks and should probably go in yours too. It seems pretty good. And then we have the best card in the set with Jeweled Lotus, still running about $100 a copy, if not a little bit more, depending on what version you get. And that pretty much wraps everything up. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I tried to keep this one a little more simple because I've got some stuff I need to tackle today. So I figured I'd make this video for you guys so I get another one out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, consider subscribing. It is free, you can always change your mind, and it does help grow the channel so we can do more giveaways in the future as we hit higher and higher subscriber milestones, 100, 200, 300, all the stuff like that if we get that far. And then I will see you guys next Sunday for another rambling episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed this little bit different one. I know we do a lot of top 10s here, and it was kind of the easy way to do this, so that's what I've got a lot of planned, so be ready for more of that in the future for sure. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next week, and until I do, take care of yourselves and have a good one.